Hello everyone. I am Toshi, the navigator of the attractive Japanese garden channel. I am not an expert on Japanese gardens, but have only recently become interested in them. I like to go out here and there on my days off, look at gardens, and relax. On the Attractive Japanese Gardens channel, I would like to take up one Japanese garden in each episode and share what I have researched. The videos and images I use are taken locally, but if necessary, I may use them by specifying the source from the official website of the garden, reference materials, and reference sites. Unauthorized use or reproduction of the video or image in use is prohibited. The viewpoints and perspectives I introduce are also based on official sites, reference materials and reference sites. Of course, sometimes my subjectivity comes in. In any case, the viewpoints and perspectives introduced in this channel are only one of many interpretations and do not deny other viewpoints. Through this channel, I hope that you will know the attractiveness of Japanese gardens even a little. This time, I will introduce the Hojo Gardens of Shūon-an Ikkyu-ji Temple. Shūon-an Ikkyu-ji Temple is located in Kyotanabe City in the south of Kyoto. It is a little far from the center of Kyoto. The nearest station is Shin-tanabe Station on the Kintetsu Railway Line or Kyotanabe Station on the Japan Railway (JR) line. For travelers from Kyoto Station, taking the Kintetsu line to Shin-tanabe Station is convenient, and from Osaka Station, taking the JR line to Kyotanabe via Kyobashi is recommended. It is a 25-minute walk from Kintetsu Shin-tanabe Station and a 20-minute walk from JR Kyotanabe Station. For access details, please check Ikkyu-ji official website. The Ikkyu-ji Temple originated from the Myosho-ji Temple, founded by Nampo Jomyo, a priest of the Rinzai sect during the Shu era, 1288 to 1293. About 40 years later, during the Genko era, 1331 to 1334, it fell into decline due to the fires of war. In the second year of Kosho, 1456, Ikkyu Sojin established a hermitage and revitalized the temple. At this time, it was named Shuon-an, with the meaning of longing for the legacy of the founder and repaying his gratitude. The official name is Shuon-an, but in this video I will introduce it under the name of Ikkyu-ji Temple, which is generally used. In the 6th year of Bunmei, 1474, Zen Master Ikkyu was appointed the chief priest of Daitoku-ji Temple in Kyoto by the imperial command of Emperor Go-Tsuchimikado. However, Zen Master Ikkyu did not reside at Daitoku-ji Temple. In 1475, he relocated his former residence, Kokyu-in, from Higashiyama to Ikkyu-ji Temple. And it is said that he went to Daitoku-ji Temple from Ikkyu-ji Temple. And in the 13th year of Bunmei, 1481, he ended his life in this Ikkyu-ji Temple. In the Edo period, Maeda Toshitsune, the lord of Kaga domain, rebuilt the temple in the 3rd year of Keian, 1650. He visited the temple on his way to Osaka at the Osaka Natsu no Jin, summer siege of Osaka, and while worshipping Zen Master Ikkyu, he lamented the ruin of the temple. A TV animation depicting the childhood of Zen Master Ikkyu has become a hit, and even today many people visit the temple as Ikkyu's Temple. The gardens of Ikkyu-ji Temple are called Hojo Garden, around the Hojo. In Zen temples such as Ikkyu-ji Temple, the Hojo is the building where the chief priest lives. The Hojo of a Zen temple is made according to a certain format. The Hojo consists of 6 rooms with 2 rows of 3 connected rooms when viewed in ground plan. The upper 3 rooms are on the north side, and the lower 3 rooms are on the south side. The role of each room is fixed, and the southeast side is called Rai no Ma, which is a room where ordinary people meet. The center of the south side is called Shitshu. It is the place where the chief priest does his work such as sutra chanting. The southwest side is called Denna no Ma. This is the reception room for the parishioners. The northwest side is called Eihatsu no Ma. It is a room where the master inherits the Dharma from the disciple. The room in the center of the north side is Butsuma. It is a room where Buddha statues and ancestral tablets are enshrined. The daily living place of the chief priest is Shuon on the northeast side. In other words, the 3 rooms on the north side are the private and personal space of the chief priest, and the 3 rooms on the south side are the public and social space for dealing with visitors. And the difference between the character of the rooms on the north side and the south side affects the taste of the garden facing the room. The south garden on the south side of the Hojo has an impressive wide white sand. It also functions as a social space where people can gather. The north garden, on the other hand, tends to reflect the tastes of the priest. Of course, the composition of the Hojo and the characteristics of the south and north gardens will change depending on the temple's size, location, and the period in which it was built, but the fundamental concept has not changed. The Hojo of Ikkyu-ji Temple is convex. This is because there is a special room in the back of the Butsuma where the seated statue of Ikkyu is enshrined. The garden surrounds the Hojo and is divided into 3 parts: the South Garden, the East Garden, and the North Garden. The North Garden continues to the northwest, but in this video, I will introduce only the northeast where there are many highlights. The current Hojo was rebuilt by Maeda Toshitsune in 1650. The Hojo Garden was also created in the early Edo period, the early 17th century, so it is natural to think that it was maintained during the reconstruction of the Hojo. This garden is said to have been created by the collaboration of Ishikawa Jozen, Shokado Shoujo and Sagawada Kiroku. However, when the Hojo was rebuilt, Shokado Shoujo and Sagawada Kiroku, 2 of the 3 collaborators, had already died, so it is thought that this garden had been established before the Hojo was rebuilt. It was rebuilt by Maeda Toshitsune, who adored Zen Master Ikkyu, so of course the 3 gardeners must have created gardens to suit Toshitsune's taste. The Hojo gardens that were actually completed have designs that remind us of Zen Master Ikkyu. Focusing on these points, I will explain in the order of the South Garden, the East Garden, and the North Garden. I've come to the front of the South Garden. The South Garden has impressive white sand. As for the white sand, Samon, the pattern drawn on the sand is drawn vertically instead of horizontally. The gaze of viewer is naturally guided vertically. There is a pruning of the Satsuki azalea at the end of the line of sight. A larger crop on the right, with several smaller crops at the back. The size of the crop is larger at the front and smaller at the back, so it appears to be deeper than it actually is. You can see Sojin Obyo, Ikkyu's mausoleum, and Kokyuen beyond the fence, and will get the illusion that the garden continues to the distant mountain. In this way, the scenery outside the garden that is used as the background to form the garden is called shake. Due to the vertical Samon sand pattern, our line of sight goes to Sojin Obyo, Ikkyu's mausoleum, and Kokyuen, Ikkyu's residence, and we can't help but think of Zen Master Ikkyu. This expression gives a clear sense of the gardener's intention. And the cycad in the right corner is impressive. It was introduced by missionaries and European merchants at the end of the Muromachi period, the latter half of the 16th century, and came to be used in many Japanese gardens in the Edo period, the early 17th century. Official websites and brochures describe the South Garden as a typical Edo period Zen garden. This is because of the characteristics of Zen temples based on white sand, and the Satsuki azalea pruning and cycads, which became common in the Edo period. So we're going from the South Garden to the East Garden. The East Garden is called Jiraku Rikan no Niwa Garden. Jiraku means 16. Rikan means a practitioner who has attained enlightenment, and is an abbreviation of Arakan. Jiraku Rikan refers to the 16 disciples who were entrusted with the maintenance of Buddhism when Shakyamuni died. The East Garden has a motif of 16 high priests spreading the teachings of Buddha to people. Stone arrangements are lined up along the Tujibe earthen wall, and each stone represents the 16 high priests, Jiraku Rikan. Jiraku Rikan motifs are often found in Zen Buddhist temple, not only in gardens but also in paintings and Buddhist statues. The North Garden is called Horai no Niwa Garden. Horai means Punlai. Punlai derives from the ancient Chinese philosophy of Shenxian. In Shenxian philosophy, it was thought that there were immortals and humans could become immortals. At the end of the East, it was believed that there was an elixir of immortality at Mount Punlai. This idea spread to Japan, and it was reflected in the gardening with the theme of wishing for immortality and longevity. The garden that reflects the Shenxian philosophy is called the Horai-style garden. The Horai-style gardens are characterized by the Mount Punlai, where immortals live, and the Tsurushima Iwagumi and Kameshima Iwagumi stone arrangement, which are designed in the image of cranes and tortoises, symbols of longevity. The large stone in the northeast corner is the Horai Seiki stone, which stands for Mount Punlai. In front of it is the Karitaki Iwagumi stone arrangement, which expresses the scenery of a waterfall where water is dropped by assembling stones without using water. Let's move a little bit to the left and look at this stone assembling. According to the gardener Mr. Masaki Ono, there is a stone on the left that appears to be Kito Seiki, representing the head of a tortoise, and there is also a stone that appears to be the tortoise paws. You can see that the Karitaki Iwagumi is also a Kameshima Iwagumi stone arrangement. The Tsurushima Iwagumi stone arrangement is the left of the Kameshima Iwagumi stone arrangement. The two stones placed vertically look like crane wings to me, but I'm not so sure. According to Mr. Agawa, Kameshima Iwagumi is considered Ganbu, black tortoise, and although it is no longer visible now, the Kazugawa River, which was once visible to the east, can be regarded as Seryu, azure dragon. Ganbu is the god said to rule over the northern heavens and the god of prosperity and family safety in Chinese mythology. And Seryu is the god said to rule over the eastern heavens and the god of growth. He further claims that Kokyu-an, which can be seen from the South Garden, represents Vyako, the white tiger. The character Ko in Kokyu-an means tiger. Vyako is a god said to rule over the western heavens and god of escaping disaster. It can be understood that Sojin Obio, Ikkyu's mausoleum, is Suzaku, red phoenix. Suzaku is god said to rule over the southern heavens and god of longevity. In other words, it can be understood that it is likened to the four gods, the four spiritual beasts that govern the four corners of heaven in Chinese mythology. Based on this interpretation, if the Sojin Obyo, Ikkyu's mausoleum, is associated with Suzaku, god of longevity, it can be understood that, even after the Zen master's death, he continues to protect this temple in gratitude for his master's kindness. This is the greatest expression of respect for Zen master Ikkyu. In addition, the gardens of this Ikkyu-ji Temple are sometimes evaluated as very similar to the Shuon Gardens of Daisen-in Temple, the sub-temple of Daitoku-ji Temple. The Shuon Garden of Daisen-in Temple has a reputation as a masterpiece. I strongly felt that the purpose of making the gardens of Ikkyu-ji Temple similar to those of Daisen-in Temple was to remind the viewer that Zen Master Ikkyu was such a great monk that he served as the chief priest of Daitoku-ji, the head temple of Daisen-in Temple. Take a look at the northwest of the North Garden. There is no explanation, but I think you can understand well that the Hojo is convex. Today, I introduced the Hojo Gardens of Shūon-an Ikkyu-ji Temple. The highlights of Ikkyu-ji Temple are not limited to its gardens. Going forward, the Attractive Japanese Gardens channel will continue to feature Japanese gardens from all over Japan. Please subscribe to my channel, comment, and rate it highly. It will encourage me to make more videos. Thank you for watching until the end.